So, here I am, doing a video about a person I consider a dear friend. Fucking happy birthday to me! Greetings everyone, I am Gregor Eblan and welcome back to the Eblan Express. Today on this short journey, we're taking a look at a video by Jonah Smith called Sugar and Pie and Everything Not So Nice. The situation revolves around a few people and places. There is the commentary community wiki, which is vandalized sometimes. This time it was the page about Space Guru 5 that was vandalized. Guru had suspicions that a person named This Is Not Metal was behind it. And in the Discord server run by the commentator Akraloth, Metal showed the location that the IP address originated from. Another commentator by the name of Sugar Pie posted it on a Twitter thread Guru made, and people lost their shit. Jonah made this video and within the hour took it down. He has refused to speak on it, so I am unaware why he took it down, or even if he knows the issues with it, but that's why I'm here. Let's jump in. We'll be starting at 38 seconds into the video, as before it's basically the same summary I gave, minus that Jonah's video is shit.
So, one person in particular, going by the name of This Isn't Metal, was asked if he was the person screaming with the wiki. Now, if you were falsely accused of something that you actually didn't do, what would be the smart thing to do? Well, the best thing to do would be just to deny it. But Metal didn't just deny it. To go out of the way to show he wasn't the person screwing the server, he doxed the guy.
Okay, no. What Jonah is referring to is the screenshot Metal posted in Akraloth server that showed the information about the IP that had vandalized the wiki. See, the vandal wasn't logged into an account and was making the edits anonymously. When you do that, it lists your IP with that of the non-edit, so that if you're a constant vandalizer, the moderators can IP ban you from making edits. What Metal showed was the country, city, and state the IP address was tied to. Da Nang, Vietnam. Despite what Jonah, V Omega, and Solar Fenrir have all said on Twitter, and what Jonah says in this video, this is not doxing. Also, this was Metal providing proof that he was not the one who vandalized the wiki. He was using public information, the IP address on the wiki, to back up his claim that he did not vandalize the wiki. Take it from someone who has worked for Medicare, the US government medical insurance program for old people. It was drilled into my head what personal identifiable information, or PII, is and is not. Saying someone in Da Nang, Vietnam, a city with 1.4 million people, vandalized the wiki doesn't really say much. If it had listed a name, an address, or something like that, I could go along with you this being doxing, but it didn't, and this isn't. All the screenshot said was that someone in Da Nang did it. I'm not even sure how reliable that is, given that the CC is primarily watched by Americans. Granted, we do have some members outside the States, with Ponder Sprocket being in Canada and Akraloth being in the UK, just to name a couple of examples. However, the viewing audience is primarily English language countries. What we are most likely looking at here is someone using a virtual private network or VPN to mask the location, as like I said, the wiki ties the IP address to unknown edits, so if anyone did a reverse lookup, like Metal did, it would appear that it was coming from Vietnam.
All the proof you need is in this screenshot right here.
Boy! Jonah, what the actual fuck was that? The screenshot was so fucking blurry it looked like the porn I used to watch back when AOL was the primary way of getting online. I understand you consider this doxing, but if that's the case, you could have blocked out the IP address and whatnot, and not give us this garbage.
On the server that this happened on. And then it gets even better. After showing the doxing, a user by the name of Sugar Pie decided to screen cap it and put it on Twitter. Publicly. Now yes, people can make the same argument that this info is already made public on the CC Wiki, so it's not exactly doxing, but either way, Sugar still made it all public, which is not right by any means.
But you just said the information was already public on the CC Wiki! How the fuck can Sugar make something public? You could have said the information was made more public by the tweet, but damn, did you do this unscripted? How the fuck did you mess up your wording so badly here? Also, still not doxing. Let's check the definition of doxing. Search for and publish private or identifying information about a particular individual on the internet, typically with malicious intent. While yes, an IP address can be used to identify someone, the tools you would need to do so would require more than a simple Google search to get. Hell, even the website Metal used doesn't provide anything that would be considered PII in the United States. I'm going to be skipping a bit as I can only say this is not doxing so many times.
Be gone, fuck!
I'll address a few counter-arguments people might make against this. An argument I've heard Sugar's white knights use to defend her is that we're making this all public. People are going to judge her for this. All I can say to that is, for good frickin' reason maybe? If you want to argue we should have brought this up in DMs, she made the whole thing public herself. That's on her to blame. Second, not calling out makes people think we're fine with it. And we're not. Like at all.
Alright, we have a bit to cover here. First, I'm going to put on my production nitpick hat and ask Jonah, why the fuck is that screenshot so fucking stretched out? This is actually a conversation we have had prior, and you need to stop pasting screen caps into PowerPoint because it stretches them out, and can make them a pain in the read and also unpleasant to look at. Use snipping tool, paint.net, Microsoft Paint, something other than PowerPoint. You're not Aaron Tempest, you don't have a mastery over PowerPoint. Now, on to calling anyone who criticized the handling of the situation white knights. When did you join the ranting community, Jonah? You are trying to discredit the ones delivering criticism from the word go, and that shit doesn't fly. Hell, I don't agree with Sugar posting the information on Twitter, but I also disagree with your video. Does that make me a white knight for Sugar? No, it means I see flaws in how you handled it. As for not calling it out makes people think you're okay with it, that wasn't even the issue being discussed in your screenshot. The issue was that she was being called out publicly, and that this would have resulted in people bandwagoning her, which is what you, V Omega, and Solar Fenrir did, with Fenrir going as far as to say he was going to make an example of her and Mel as seen here, and the original thread will be linked in the description so people can look it over. I'm going to skip ahead to cover another point.
Be gone, fuck!
Also, Sugar actually took down the original tweet, but I'm seeing people say that we should just let it go considering she apologized. Yeah, here's the thing. Forgiveness needs to be earned.
The fuck did you just say, Jonah? No, legit, forgiveness needs to be earned? After she apologized, took down the tweet and everything? Nah, let's continue to promote the stereotype that the CC is a toxic shithole. That's ideal. What do you want her to do? Shine your shoes? Exile herself from the CC? What the actual fuck do you want, Jonah? I hate to get into this, but it is public information on Sugar's profile, but she falls into the autistic spectrum, so she has some mental issues. She even said so in her Twitter thread that I linked that she was not aware what she was doing was doxing. Hell, she asked V and Fenrir to explain how it was, but those two wanted to be toxic shits and not use it as an opportunity to educate her, and you made this shit show of a video. I've already gone over how it's not doxing, but she was genuinely asking for the reason and no one would give it to her. I've got one more point to cover.
Be gone, fuck!
Oh, and a message to those who are actually on Sugar's side here. I'm just gonna say this. Think about what you're saying before you say it. I honestly can't see how leaking somebody's IP address is even worth defending in the slightest.
I questioned Turkey during the Spock the Theory drama. How the fuck are you doing today? So no one can offer counter-arguments or different perspectives because of an IP address that was already public on the CC wiki, mind you, was posted on Twitter? That's a shit mentality to have, and that's why I brought up Question Turkey. Hell, most of the people who went against Spock the Theory, it's a really shitty attitude to have when you won't listen to people on the other side and said the issue at hand is not worth defending. Fuck it, final thoughts. Jonah, this was shit. From misunderstanding what doxing is to basically trying to poison the well against those who criticize yourself and the others involved in the handling of this situation, to your whole statement that forgiveness has to be earned, this came off as incredibly toxic to Sugar. I do not believe Sugar should have posted the screenshot. Rather, it should have been sent as a DM to Space Guru as it was answering a question he had. However, it's nowhere near as big of a deal as you, V, Fenrir have made it out to be. I know you did this with good intentions, Jonah, but the highway to hell is paved with them. My advice is as follows. If something like this ever happens again, take a moment to assess the situation. Hear what the other side has to say instead of dismissing it out of hand, and maybe review your position on the matter. You're better than this, Jonah, and I know this is just a hiccup on your path, but do be more careful in the future. I'm Gregor Eblan. I'll see you all next time.